Georgia's Aerial Phenomenon 1947-1987, composed by Roswell, Georgia, Cop Michael Hitt, presents 234 UFO sightings in the state. Numerous reports originate from regular citizen and military pilots like the aviators from Dobbins Air Force Base who recounted to their story in 1952. They saw an item streak overhead before it vanished. This equivalent article was seen on radar scopes as it went at 1,200 miles 60 minutes, double the speed of a plane. Control Tower Administrator Bruce Beach relates that there were such huge numbers of UFO sightings at Dobbins Air Force Base during the 1950s that the Pinnacle had a 3D camera, which was abnormal around then. Sightings proceeded consistently. As of late, a square, dark UFO the size of a Boeing 727 was spotted close to the base and answered to MUFON in January 2019. The spaceship formed McDonald's in Roswell, New Mexico, reminds inhabitants and travelers that we may not be separated from everyone else known to man. At the present time, most of the proof comes as stories told by military men, pilots, law requirement officials, and others. The legislature has at long last conceded that UFOs are a genuine wonder. Who comprehends what privileged insights might be uncovered later on? Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico is at the focal point of a few UFO experiences. Undertaking 1947, a continuous get-together of articles and records about UFOs seen somewhere in the range of 1900 and 1965, presents one of these episodes. In 1950, Gadget's engineer Cliff Booth detailed that he and another man had utilized an Ascania theodolite to get photos of a stoga-formed UFO. While the two men were persuaded they had seen a vehicle from space, photos were hazy. A long time later, movie producer Robert Emenegger was provoked by the U.S. Air Force to deliver a UFO narrative. In 1974, UFOs, Past, Present, and Future was discharged without its most hair-raising story. The Air Force reneged on its guarantee to give Emenegger film of a UFO arrival at Holloman Air Force Base in 1971. The recording demonstrated 3 UFOs. 1 UFO landed and 3 outsiders rose. A declassified government report uncovered that watches at Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico saw UFOs in the Coyote Canyon region in 1980. During a similar time frame, radar was stuck by an obscure hotspot for 6 hours in a similar region. Paul Benowitz, a physicist, innovator, and UFO specialist, had started to see odd lights in the sky a year sooner. These lights, which flew towards Coyote Canyon and the base, could be seen about each night. Benowitz recorded the lights just as items he saw on the ground and noticeable all around. After some time, he gathered in excess of 2,600 feet of film. Benowitz likewise taped low-recurrence radio transmissions that he said were transmitted by the outsiders, and he made a PC program to interpret these transmissions. What's more, he professed to have proof that outsiders were controlling individuals through electromagnetic gadgets. Doubters wonder why outsiders address the basic man instead of pioneers. Truth be told, probably the best chief, Dwight Eisenhower, may have spoken with them. Contingent upon whose story you accept, the president either took a mystery evening outing to Edwards Air Force Base while on a golf getaway or he went to the dental specialist for fix of a chipped tooth. Ike's dental specialist demanded he saw the president on February 20, 1954. In any case, Dr. Michael Salla accepts that Ike met 2 blue-bearded outsiders, who had dismal lips and white hair, at the base. Dr. Salla is an innovator in the field of exopolitics, characterized as the political investigation of the key entertainers, organizations, and procedures related with extraterrestrial life. Strikingly, the Associated Press detailed that Ike passed on February 20, 1954, however withdrawn the story 2 minutes after the fact. Laura Magdalene Eisenhower, Ike's incredible granddaughter, has freely expressed that she accepts that Ike met with extraterrestrials. In his book, Above Black, Project Preserve Destiny, Dan Sherman composes that he was sent to Fort Meade in Maryland to prepare for his job in an above top-secret level Air Force program called GRACE. In 1992, he was enlisted to address gray aliens, first experienced at the Roswell incident. His mom was visited by outsiders and was the subject of hereditary control. Subsequently, Sherman could satisfy his obligations as natural communicator, and get messages from the Greys. Initially, Sherman sat in a correspondence's van in an obscure area to get the messages from the assigned outsider. After some time, he started to get what he calls snatching information. The National Security Agency, NSA, headquartered at Fort Meade, declassified numerous archives in later years. A portion of these reports note endeavors to unravel a radio message got from space. 29 Palms in the Mojave Desert in California was the site of a monstrous multi-regimental live-move practice in October 2019. Military preparing is only one of the fascinating exercises at the Marine base, which is recorded in Project Red Book. This database contains data about subsurface outsider movement locales. It was ordered for the individuals who need to investigate the destinations, without any cases of validness for a specific site. As per specialist Val Valerian, recuperated outsider innovation is analyzed in underground offices at the base. Moreover, there have been numerous UFO sightings in the territory since the 1950s. In May 2019, a worm-like UFO was spotted over the town of 29 Palms. Significant George Filer relates 6 many years of examining outsiders and UFOs in John Guerra's Strange Craft, the true story of an Air Force intelligence officer's life with UFOs. Most strikingly, Filer reviews the shooting of an outsider at Fort Dix in New Jersey. In 1978, a military cop was following a low-flying airplane through the wild of the military base during the extremely early times of a bone-chilling January morning. A 4-foot-tall, grayish-earthy-colored animal with long arms, a slim body, and fat head showed up before the MP's truck and was then shot. The remaining parts radiated a smelling salts-like odor. Filer is an individual from the Disclosure Project, which champions the arrival of all UFO data. In 2017, the Pentagon discharged film of an extraterrestrial vehicle exceeding U.S. Naval Force warriors, affirming a portion of Filer's depictions. Commander Oliver W. Pappy Henderson, a senior pilot at Roswell AFB during the Roswell incident, flew a plane to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio not long after the episode. He didn't talk about the trip for over 30 years due to his trusted status. Be that as it may, in 1977, he informed his colleague regarding his task. He said he moved rocket destruction and little outsider bodies. He indicated his accomplice a bit of metal from the destruction. It looked like aluminum yet was lighter and a lot stiffer. In 1982, Henderson recounted to a similar story to a few of his Roswell buddies while going to a gathering. Other military men affirm Henderson's story. One of these men is Marine Lieutenant Colonel Marion M. Dark Mac Magruder. On his deathbed, Magruder recalled that the outsider he saw was squiggly. The 1947 Roswell incident in New Mexico is maybe the most well-known UFO experience. The principal public statement expressed that a flying saucer had been found. The subsequent official statement asserted the article was a climate swell. Activities official Robert Shirkey saw an aluminum-like material with characters composed on it being stacked for a trip to Carswell Air Force Base in Fort Worth, Texas. Flight crew member Robert Porter detailed that the crates holding the bits of flying saucer were as light as unfilled boxes. In later years, UFOs were seen around the base. In 1954, a T-formed airplane was spotted and gotten on radar. The blue, green, and white UFO floated at 4,000 feet over the close-by-air terminal. Another locating was recorded by the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, Witness Detailing Database. In 1965, an observer saw a triangular UFO with 3 lights. Malmstrom Air Force Base, which conveys Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic rockets, ICBMs, is neighboring Great Falls, Montana. In 1967, the Missile Combat Crew got reports from security watches and support group that a UFO was floating more than one of the rocket storehouses. Presently, every one of the 10 rockets shut down, each in turn. While declassified reports demonstrate that the atomic weapons did, for sure, become inoperable, there is meager proof of the UFO guarantee. Be that as it may, proof was assembled at a previous UFO locating. The Mariana UFO incident occurred in Great Falls in 1950. Scratch Mariana, chief of a small-time baseball crew, might be the primary individual to purposefully catch film of UFOs. A splendid blaze grabbed Mariana's eye as he was assessing a baseball field. He raced to get a 16mm camera when he saw two silver plates flying at helping speed over the city. He had the option to get 16 seconds of shading video film. In any case, he later guaranteed that 35 complete edges were absent after the Air Force inspected the film and returned it to him. These edges indicated that the puzzle questions in the sky were circles that were pivoting. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.